Okay, so we had completed 11 number practical or remaining with this PRN. We have to generate one table with the PRN n value incremented with given example. So we had completed in the last lab or not? I'm asking to you, done. Okay. And I guess inline example is also covered in the last lab. This one. Okay. So now we'll cover the practical number 12. Okay, so here I am giving you the definition or a title of practical number 12. Okay, so this many till this experiment number 2, our program is yes, over here. This is experiment number 2 from 9th to 13th program, the practical experiment number 2 and practical number 1 to practical number 8 belongs from experiment number 1. So experiment number 2 are related with the function program. So over here, we had discussed some concept of C++ related with the function. Okay, just try to understand the practical number 12 definition, and if you are understandable with this, just let me know what they want to say to you. Okay. Okay, so question is available in the chat as well as available over here in the screen. So question number 12 is something like write a function power to raise a number n to a power n without using math.h header file. Okay, for the following scenario, right? Okay, now the scenario A is the function takes double value for n and integer value for n, as well as the result you need to return it. Now for the B, use a default value of 2 for n to make a function to calculate the squares when this argument is omitted. And the scenario C is take an integer value for n. But in the all above cases, function name must be same. As they were mentioned, function name should be power in A scenario, B scenario, and C scenario, right? So you can say something like you need to follow which concept of function name remains same, but the argument you can change, that m is for the double and n is for integer. For the second, you must have to take n value as a default value 2, and for the third function m should be in the integer and n should be you can take it as double, right? So the function name is same but with the different signature. This concept is known as, yes, write your answer over here. I'm saying for the one program, if my function name is more than one time used with the same name, but the signature of that function is changed, then this concept is known as, write down the answer over here. Yes, this is called function overload. Ma'am, I just joined, so can you please give me one second. So here is the practical number 2. Okay, so this concept is known as function overloading. Okay, okay. Is there any doubt in function overloading concept? So otherwise, I will first recall that function overloading and then I will start with that 12 number question. Is there any confusion? Say yes or no. Yes, I am asking to everyone. Okay. So I'm here. What I am doing, I'm just giving you the skeleton of code. Okay, that what you have to do over here. First of all, we must have to use the power function as a function overloading concept, right? So power, whatever the signature is, but the function name should be remain same. Okay. Now, okay, you cannot, okay, you have to find out the power of, the logic is m power n. Okay, for the every function you have to do. Okay, this is the logic of every function, m power n, right? So you can say your m and n should be passed in this method. Okay, whatever the method is. Okay, now the second scenario, sorry, first scenario, a function takes double value for m and integer value for n. So I can write that double for m value and integer for n, right? This is for the scenario one. Okay, okay, and then you have to find out the m power n. Suppose my m value is equals to 2 and n value equals to 3. So what should I do over here? 2 power 3, right? But without using the inbuilt function. Okay, so you can assume something like 2 into 2 into 2. Okay, you have to do something like this. Okay, now for the second scenario, that is scenario number B. Okay, in the B, use a default value 2 for n. Make a function to calculate squares when this argument is omitted. Okay, so in this function they're going to say something like uh, you have to take the value of n is equals to 2. Okay, so the default value. Okay, uh, is there anyone who can give me the answer of what is the use of default value function with default value? The concept of function with default value. Yes. If you want to unmute yourself and give want to give the answer over here, you can. What is the concept of default argument in function? Yes, you can replay over here, or else you can say the answer. Chime. Assign the parameter with the default value when no argument is passed during the function code. Very good. Okay. So integer mean, I must have to call this function from main. Okay, power. Okay, I'm discussing only for the first scenario. So the value should value for the m and integer n. So my m value should be in the double. So if I'll pass b and integer for I. Okay, so this is the thing, you have to pass it from the integer. Placed over here with the value of m, and n value is equals to I value. Okay, but for the second one, they are suggested that you have to create, or you have to give the value is equals to 2 over here every time. Okay, so I cannot pass the two values over here. Yes, you can, but the scenario is over here is something like this, that if I am passing the 5 only from my main, your compiler will identify that yes, this 5 should be, you can say, will be replaced with the value of n. And if I'm not passing the n value, then this function will call, and it is m powered n. Okay, so your n value is equals to 2. Now, if I will pass 10, right? So how it will work? So 10 is the value of m, and n value should be remain 2 every time. Okay, so if I'm passing the only one value at a time from the integer main at the time of calling procedure, then the n value will be taken by your compiler as a default value. Okay, so this is the scenario number 2. Okay, so what I am taking for the m, I am taking the integer data type, and for n, I am taking the integer data type. Okay, so is it correct format for the default function with the default argument? Yes. They were mentioned that if you want to assign the default value to your function arguments, you must have to follow the way from right hand side to the left hand side, right? So if I will write 4 over here, and if I will remove this, this is not the correct format for default value. Okay, yes. Why? Because this 10 should be replaced with m. Okay, so m equals to 10. What is the value of n? So that's why if you want to give the default value to my function, follow the assignment from right hand side variable to the left hand side variable. Okay, now understood with the default? Yes. Students, please replay over here that yes or no. Okay, no doubt, right? Okay. Now, for the third scenario, right, this is for the second scenario. Okay. And for the third scenario, they are given that take an integer value for m. Okay, so the value of my m should be in the integer. Okay, and for n, if I write integer n, this will not work perfectly. Why? Because the signature of this function is integer, right? So this is something like, you can say, the re-declaration or redefinition of the power function. Okay, so in that case, I can take it as a double. Okay, they were not mentioned over here, but I have two values, that one is in double and another is in integer. So I can take the n value in the double. Okay, so see, I am giving you the one logic, but if you have another logic for the same thing, you can apply your own logic. But the thing is, you must have to use a, you can say, the function overloading concept in this, and follow the given scenario. Okay, if you have another logic for this, you can use that logic. Okay, and they are given you the something like, and return the result correctly. Okay, so if I will use the void over here, it will work. Okay, why? Because in this function, I am just print that value in the same function, so I don't require to return something. Okay, now according to your function, you have to take the values from the user for the m and n. Okay, you have to call that function from here, pass that m and n value over here, and accordingly your function will call by your compiler. Okay, clear with the definition?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Yuvraj.
And can you go to the program once, please?
Hmm. Yes.
Ma'am, the second function, the
Hmm.
data type of n should be integer, right?
Hmm.
In your there is double, ma'am. In the
Over
second,
here, if I'll write double.
no, 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 ma'am. In the second one.
Yes, I am in the second one only.
Yeah, in the second.
Yes,
In the,
this one is the first function, this one is the second, and this one is the third.
yeah, I mean third one.
Yes, over here.
Yes, ma'am. The data type of integer, the data type of n should be double or integer, ma'am.
Yes, data type should be integer. Why? Because they were mentioned over here. Take an integer value for m. That's why I'm
Okay, got
taking
it.
it. Yes, that's why I'm taking it as an integer. Okay. Yes. Is there any query? Ma'am, can the power be double? No, over here. Yes, I am telling you that I am giving you the one solution. If you have another solution for this, you can use it. They were not mentioned for n anything over here. That if you want to use integer over here, you can use it. But in that case, you have to change it over here, right? Okay. So try to implement it by yourself and then check it over here. Okay. So what I will do, I'm taking one m from the user as a double, and I'm taking this m from the user as an integer. Okay. Okay. So for the first function, if I want to call the first function, what I will do, enter the double and integer value. Okay. So now I'm scanning that value for first function, right? Okay. Now I'm dealing with the first function only. So what I will write over here, first I must have to take the value of m and then n. Okay. And I'm calling power function over here with the m comma n. Okay, what it will do, it will take the double value for m and n for the integer, and it will pass that value over here. Okay, and over here you what you have to do, that you need to write the logic of power without using math hydrophile. Okay. Okay, so for that, what you have to do, say for example, if I have m and n, m equals to 2.0 and n equals to 2. What we have to do, this is 2 multiplied by 2. Okay, this is the answer for my question. Okay, so I must have to take one for loop for that integer I will just start with the 1, and till my I is less or equal to my n value, I must have to increment with 1. Okay, in this in between, I have to multiply that you can see equals to, sorry, this is double, and because I must have to start with some variable, because I want to store that result over here in the same. But A equals to A multiplied with N. Okay. So instead of this, if I want to write something like shorthand operator, I can do this. And if my function return void, then what I'm doing is cout answer is only A. Okay, so this is only for the first function. Okay, now for the second function, you have to take the values from the user, that power integer m comma integer n equals to 2. Why? Because they were mentioned over here that you have to take the n equals to 2 as a default value. Okay, so for the 4 we require one I. Okay, so I starting with 1 till less or equal to n, or you can use another logical instead of this. Why? Because the n value is fixed over here, so you can do something like m multiplied by n. Okay, this is another logic if you want to apply it. Okay. Just write it likewise. Power b double. Okay, in that case you can pass the value in 2.0 or 3.0, something like this. If you want to take it as an integer, okay, for the third function, right? So what it will do, it will give you the output something like the redefinition of this power function. Okay. Yes, Dilam. Okay, this is up to you, because they were not mentioned over here that for the n what you have to take the data type. They were mentioned that for m you have to take the integer. Okay, so n is up to you. If you want to take integer, then correct it with the previous function also, otherwise it will not work with the same signature. Okay, as our you can say the function overloading concept is there. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Hmm.
That's a code in a recursive function, but it's always doing it square.
Yes, you can use it, but the thing is, you have to take the function overloading concept over here.
Yeah, I'm using that one.
Okay, then you can. I am telling you that I am giving you the one logic. If you want to use another logic for the same concept, you can use it.
Okay,
Yes? Okay, you can
okay,
use it.
ma'am.
You can. So this is user-defined function, right? So user-defined function will work as a user wants. Okay, so I am taking m and n over here. If you want to take another variable, you can. But if they were mentioned over here that you have to take this function name and this is as the data type and variable name, you cannot change, right? But the logic, if you want to change that, instead of over here, right, instead of this power function, if you want to use m multiplied by m, why? Because this n is always 2 for this function. Okay, so if you want to use that method, that logic for it, you can use it. If you want a while loop for this, you can use it. So different logic you can apply it as per your requirement. Okay. Okay, if you had already completed with the code, just write done over here so that I can verify. Okay.
And
Yes.
I have a confusion here.
Yes, Yuvraj. Say.
And can you go to the program once?
Hmm.
And here in the question, it is written that the function takes double value for n and integer value for n, and if the default value, if the value of n is not given, then it will take 2 as a default value, right, ma'am?
Over here, yes.
But ma'am, you have to take the default value for integer n and integer n, but it is written over here that in the first program you have to take the default value too.
No, in the first case, I cannot take the value for n as a default 2.
Why, ma'am?
Why? Because this is the scenario 2, that use a default value of 2 for n to make a function to calculate squares. If I'll take n over here equals to 2, how can I apply the function overloading concept if I am doing the same thing using only one function? Okay.
Ma'am, uh,
Yes.
ma'am, if you take the default value of integer n equals to 2 in the first program, first function, then what will
Hmm.
happen? Like, yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, then it will
So,
work.
oh, yes, it will work. Why not? It will work, because over here your n value equals to 2, and at the time of calling procedure, if you are given the n over here, then it will replace the value over here. But if I'll miss this n over here from the calling portion, right, what it will do, it will take n equals to 2.
Ma'am, but
Yes.
my
Hmm.
program is
Hmm.
not working. Can you see my program once, please?
Yes, I can. Okay, other student, please complete it. Yes, you can share your screen.
Ma'am, I have taken two power function with written type
Hmm.
in double, but the argument, the type of argument is different. One is double and
Okay.
called argument two, and the other is
This is 2.
yeah, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
I have called this function twice by passing the double in one
For
function.
m and integer for m1 and
Integer,
n. Yes,
yeah,
good. This is for the second case.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And this is for the
Mm-hmm.
function. This is the program of the function.
Mm-hmm.
It is also correct. It is also correct, but my program is showing some error, ma'am. Like, see, ma'am,
Okay. What it will give you? It will give you information. Okay.
see, maybe, ma'am, it is showing some error, ma'am.
Hmm. Is double power, double integer here. Double power, integer m1 and 2 over here. Okay. Wait a minute. If I are given for parameter 2 of double power this, and previous specification on the double power, double integer here in the double power. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Both of my functions have same event type, and only one argument is different in case of the entire
Mm-hmm.
types.
Hmm.
I think
Okay. Go to your one function and remove that n equals to 2 from the first function. Yes, remove that. Okay. Now try to run it.
where it is showing some error.
previous specification double integer integer n equals to 2. Okay, at the time of calling procedure, did you pass that n value?
Yes, ma'am. In both call form, in both cases.
Okay, okay. Now remove that n from the second function call.
From here,
Yes, remove that n. Now try to run it.
no, ma'am.
No. Okay. Okay, return p. Hmm. Okay, just wait, just wait. Go to your integer main.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just wait. Huh? Okay. Okay, I can find the error, but just try to resolve it. That what they want to say over here, and how can you resolve it? Just try to think. Otherwise, I'll give you the solution of this.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, just try to think on it. If it is returning something to you, right? Hello, Yugraj?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. If your function will returning something to you, okay. So in the main, did you catch something, or if you are doing some addition, or you can say the multiplication and all those stuff, after the returning type and catching type in the main as well as in the function, should it match with each other or not? Just check it one more time.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, you can share.
Yes, ma'am, here.
Yes.
Yeah, it's this one is working, but I have a problem here. I call the function here for this integer, so
Hmm.
it's indexed into y, but
Hmm.
it's not working. This default value always it displays the square value 4. It displays 16. I don't know the problem.
It will display 4 raised to 4 instead of 4 raised to 2.
Yeah, that's the problem I face.
Oh, okay, okay. Just do one thing.
Hmm.
Write some messages in the function that this function is calling.
Where?
Okay, okay. At the after completion of seventh line, go to your 8 number line.
Here.
Yes, yes. Now you can write it over here. That C out. Hmm. Which function is calling? I guess double integer, right?
Double.
Yes, double integer. Okay, okay. Function. Okay, okay. It's okay for me. Handle and okay. And now run the code. Hmm. Every time your double function will call. Yes,
Yeah, the first one should call the double function, and second,
2 times, right?
and
So
yeah,
your
always.
yes, so your next function will not work. Why? Because we have one functionality or characteristic in the function overloading concept. We had discussed at that time that if you are confusing your compiler, that if I'm passing the integer value, it can convert it into the double and one more type, right? So it is confusing and it will call the same function every time. Okay, so what you have to do, just remove that for from that, you can say the function calling process. So if you are omitting something, yes, integer. Okay, call it in the correct way.
Yeah, this for default argument. I pass
Yes,
only
for
one value.
okay. If you want to pass two arguments, first pass the double and second integer. And if you want to call the second power function, you have to only pass the value of m. Okay.
Value of m.
Yes, value of m in the integer alone.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Can I share my screen so that you can understand what I am telling to you? Okay, tell Zaina that please join with the, you can say Marwadi email ID, otherwise I'll not allow you. Now, am I clear with the point that if I am passing the double integer value from my first power function, what it will going to identify? It will going to identify that m and n. Is my m should be in the double? Yes. Then and only then it can call this function. Okay. And if I am passing only one argument as an integer, it will going to identify that is there any function with the default value for the next variable. If it can find, then it is okay for me and it will call the default function, otherwise it cannot. Okay, till now am I clear? Yes. Okay, so now can you find the error over here over in your program? This is not error, but you are correct. But the compiler will confuse at that time that which method I have to call, because is as we had discussed at that time that your at the time of function overloading, it can try to typecast, okay, by their own. Okay, it can typecast. Then if it is possible to casting after completion of typecasting, it will cast your data type and find the first function every time in your case. Okay, yes, Dilan. Say yes or no. Okay, okay, Yograj, done. Okay, good. Okay, so the second logic of your program is, you can say, the switch case. Also using the switch case is the one of the logic. So if you want to use that logic for this, you can apply this. But this is also the feasible solution. So if you want to use this, I am okay with that. And if you want to use another logic, you can. As some of the students written something over here that if I write integer over here, and instead of doing this, if I will write return a, this is also work. Okay, so you can do this thing. And for the last case, so what I'll do for the third part function, taking the value and value. Okay, C in M, comma M. Okay, so N should be in the integer and M in the, so that's why I'm taking something like this. This I will call it with the N, comma M. It will call my class function. Okay, so for the first power function, I'm giving 3.0 and 3. So 3 into 3 into 3. The double integer function will call. Now, if I'm giving only 3, so what it will do? 3 power 2, default value function will call. So 3 raised to 2. Why? Because I'm omitting the argument n from this function, right? And enter the m and n value. So if I'll give 2 and 3.0, so it will give me the answer in m as an integer value. Okay, so clear with the concept of function overloading. Okay, Ahmad, Mohammed, Hala, what about you all people? Running, have completed the program with me, or you need some extra time for this? Just reply on the chat. Yes, Hala, can you unmute yourself? Yes. Yes, why? Because I want to take the value first as an integer and second as an double. That's why. If I'll change it with the a and b accordingly, you can. Okay? For the minimum requirement of variable, I'm doing this. If you want to take a more variable as a double for the next is c, you can pass it over here that first pass the c and then pass a. Right? You can do this, but for the minimum requirement of variable, I'm doing this. Okay. Okay, see, this is the only one logic, but if you have another logic for this program, you can implement it. But the function overloading concept should be there. Okay, so shall we move to the next program? Yes. Okay. Okay, so before we will start with the experiment number 3, so the small programs related with our class we will practice, okay, and then we will move further with the practical number. So it will beneficial for us that the small practice of class and object, small practice of how can you access that, how can you use that access specifier and all those stuff, right? And then we will move with the exact practical, okay. Okay, we can implement the concept which we had discussed in our class section. Okay, because at that time I am doing the code every time. Okay, so right now we are practicing same from my side and you too also. Okay, so this is beneficial for you also that how your actual class will work. Okay, so this is the practice program, and please save these programs too, so that in the future if you want to use that program for the small concept you can use it. Okay, so the first thing, create one class, name student, take two variables, both are public. Okay, or you can say declare two data members in the class, and one more thing, declare two member functions. It's public. Okay, that's it. Right now do this manipulate. Create one class. It will include two data members and two member functions in the same class. Okay, how to access we'll discuss. Okay, first do one thing, that thing. So class, they will give me the name, student. Okay, and in that you have to do this my thing. First try to develop it by yourself, then I will do it. Okay, Running, can you unmute yourself? Yes, Ranim, can you unmute yourself? As we had discussed earlier, that if you can't unmute yourself, then just write it in the chat. Otherwise, I will not give you the attendance. Okay, this is mandatory to check that you are alive in my session or not. We have so many students, but some of these students are not replying me anything. Okay, Fatima, what about you? Can you hear me? Daniel, Vikas, Mihir. Yes, can you hear me? Okay, if you can't reply, I cannot give you the attendance, okay? Vice versa. Okay. Okay, so as there are mentioned over here, first declare it to the public. So class name is student, declare two data members. So name of that variable you can use it any. Okay, I can check the replay of two students only. That is Daniel and Bikash. Other than this, Mihir, Fatima, Hala, Mohammed Saif, Mohammed, Sangram, Yazan. What about you all people? Completed your program or not? Just write it over here in the chat. Otherwise, I'll not give you the attendance. Huh? Make sure that if you have completed with the program, just write your done over here. That yes, I'm done with this code. Okay, so today I'm check. Okay, so the question is over here. Okay, note down the points on your book also. So afterwards you can run the code by yourself. And try to write down the code in your book. Okay. So I'm okay, but just share your problem with me that yes, due to this issue, I am not able to show my screen or I am not able to complete the code. Okay. And one more data member I must have to declare over here, that is character name. Okay. And I have two member functions. Okay, so I'm declaring void right now function 1 with no arguments, void function 2 with no arguments. Okay, now semicolon. And if I change the definition over here, and take the data from user using the function and print that data on screen using another member function. Okay. So what you have to do, they are suggesting you to take the data from user using the function. Okay. So you must have to take a number and name from the user that they can enter the data in using one function. Okay. And print that data on the screen using another function. Okay. So I'm changing the function name, enter data, and I'm changing the second function name with the print data. And this is user difference. You can set that name accordingly. Okay, you got done. Okay, very good. Okay, so now we want that you have to take that values from the user. Okay, so what I have to do, yes, as you all are aware that we have two options. You can write the body of function in the same class or outside of the class. So first of all, I'm using inside the class. So what I'll write out enter student number and cin number. Okay, now check. Can I access this number variable from this enter data function? Yes, I can. Why? Though my number is public and this number is belongs from the same student class, so I can access in this function, right? As your class definition is suggest that the collection of data members and associated member functions collection is known as class. Okay, so this is the thing you can access. Enter name. Okay. Now, using the another member function, you have to print that data. So what I'm doing, using this function, I must have to print that data. So I will hit cout number is and cout name is. Okay. Now it's time to call that function from integer name. So first step, can I call this? Return 0. Can I call this function outside of my name using object? Yes, I can. Okay, now what is the requirement of object? So the requirement of my object is something like you can say that using that object I can access the public member variables or member functions of my class. Okay, so for that, first of all, what is the syntax of object? This is student class x1. So x1 is an object of my student class. Okay. And using that s1, I can access this enter data function. If I write s1 dot, it will suggest me that using this s1, You can access enter data function, you can access name, number, and also you can access the print data function. Okay, so first of all, I must have to take the data from user. So first I will call the enter data function. Okay, now check it. Okay, sorry. Daytime. Okay, so the number is 1 and name is ABC. Okay, done. Now I want to print that data on the screen. So check that using that function, access the print data function, which I can. Okay, so if I get print data, what it will do? It will give me the answer of number and name, which is entered by the user. Let me see. It will give me 1 and ABC. Now is there any doubt? Say yes or no. No. Okay, okay. So now second thing. Using another function, and that function is not, you can say, define the class. That function body cannot be present in the class. Okay, so which concept you want to use over here? So you can say that outside of class, you need to write the function body. Okay, now function, this is, and print the data on screen, you have to take that function outside of your class. Okay, so we, for that we have one syntax. How can you write it outside of the class? Ma'am, can I share and correct me? Okay, yes, you can share. Okay, till that students just complete that code, that take one function outside of that class. Okay, good. Till on, you can share your screen.
Here is my first I declare class
Mhm,
student
mhm.
and here is private and public. Functions are public.
Okay. Okay, okay. This is, you can say that outside of class, so the function should be outside of the integer main, right?
Yeah, I want to use the function outside of the class. I use a
Outside of the
scope
class.
resolution operator.
Yes, so you can, the syntax is wrong. Instead of class, you have to write the return type of getting function.
Sorry, ma'am.
Uh, you have written in the 10 number line that class, student, scope resolution operator, and get in function name. Okay.
Here,
Yes, line number 12. Line number 12. Okay, yes, over there. But instead of that class keyword, you have to write the return type
okay.
of that
Wait,
class keyword. Okay, write down the yes word. Okay. Now there is one more problem. Okay. Yes, I know that. Okay. So cut that function from integer main.
This one?
Yes, cut that whole function from line number 12 to your line number 18, I guess. Scroll down. Okay. From line number 12 to line number 18, cut that whole code.
18?
Not,
Okay.
no, 18, 18. Yes. Control X. Hmm.
Next.
Outside of main, outside of integer main.
Okay.
Yes. Enter it. Okay. Yes. Because your function body is written outside of the main. This is your function, right? So this is
Yeah.
not inbuilt function.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
Okay. So follow it with the print function also. Okay. Now you can do the code. Hmm.
So I have to call in main function, right?
Okay. If you remove that s from that name, line number 13,
This one.
C in, yes, remove that.
So what I
Yes.
have to do?
You have to write only name, only name, variable name. Okay. It can access. Why? Because this name variable is belongs from the same class. Yes, so you can access
Okay,
it.
okay. So now, how can I call this?
Okay. Now just write down the class name. Hmm. Enter your object name s semicolon semicolon. Yeah. Enter s dot.
Dot.
Yes. Yes, you can access this two method. Okay. Semicolon.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, now it will work perfectly. Hmm. Okay, remove that S from that S. Okay. Okay, no worry.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Okay, this is duplication of your object. So if you can remove that 10 number line from S. S remove from that 10 number line. Hmm. Yes. Okay, done. Because you are declaring the object in the main, right? That's why.
Yeah, yeah, ma'am. That's right.
Okay. Okay, yes. So if I want to put one function inside the class and one function outside the class, how can my class or main and my compiler can identify that yes, this void print data function is belongs from the same class or not? For that, what we have to do, as I have mentioned in the down code, is you cannot directly write this. Why? Because this is otherwise outside of the class, as well as this is not the function of my class. Okay, so first of all, write down the function declaration. Void in data. Right? I am declaring that yes, this type of method I want to write that function body outside of my class. So here I have. But how can I identify that this is belongs from the student class or not? So that's why we have something return type with the class name, that student and scope resolution operator. So it will resolve your query that yes, this print data function scope I am uh, excluding. Okay, I am giving you the flexibility to write that code outside of my class, as well as yes, I am assuring you that yes, this print data function is from the student class only and the return type is void. Okay, So now it will work perfectly. And if I will write something like instead of this public, I'm making my two variables as a private and this two method as a public. So the question is, can I access my number and name from this enter data and print data method? Can I access these two variables, though they two are private? Can I access these two variables in my enter data function and print data function? Say yes or no. Okay, as I have mentioned that, can I access this number and name from this enter data method and print data method? Yes, one is replying me yes. Okay, another response yes, yes. Okay, I want a response from other students also. Those who are not implementing the code, but you can listen me, right? So you can identify the answer. Okay, Mihir, Mohammed, Mohammed Saif, Mohammed Asif, Raza. Okay, so the question is, now the question is, if my these two variables are private, can I access that two variables in enter data and print data function? This is the question. No. Why? I'm asking with respect to this question. Huh? If the function is outside. Hmm. Yes, I can. Print the data. Print me perfectly. Yes, in this case, I can. Right? Yes, good. Why? Because as they were mentioned that yes, this print data function is belongs from the same class and this two variables are belongs from the same class. So if you want, you can access it. Okay. Now this is for only for the first one student, right? Now if I want to enter the data for two more students, can I do this? This is only for the one student, right? For one student only. So now if I want for three students, can I do this? This number and name belongs from only one student. Now, if I want to take or if I want to print the same value for one more student, can I do this same code for two students? Can I do this thing or not? Yes, we can use another object. Good. So just try to implement that many things over here. Then we will move further with the return type function and with argument function in the class. Okay. Okay. So this is for one student. Now if I will write S2 and S3, same for the S2 and S3. So S1 for the student 1, S2 for student 2, and S3 for student 3. Yes, instead of doing the S1, S2, S3, we have one more concept. At that time we will discuss. But right now we are using three objects for three students. Okay. So this is, you can test it out for student 1. enter data for student 2. So for this, what I need to write over here. If I use nested class, can I access private variable in the second class like function? Okay, nested class. Okay, till now nested class concept means what? You want to declare one more class outside of that class.
Class inside class.
Class inside class. Okay, okay. In that, what you have to do, this is a base class or inherited class.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
here is,
That
for
class.
example, in function, if the function inside the class, we can access it private by using function.
So
So
if I will write, if I will write instead of public, if I will write something like this. Okay, yes, running. What do you want to say?
in
Okay, if
place of
I will write, so okay, if I write private over here, then can I access this variable or not? Right. Okay, so write s1 dot. Can I access that variable? Sorry, that functions? No. But we have some concept using that you can do find function as well as the virtual function concept is that at that time we will discuss that please move slowly and gradually, right? Otherwise, you will be confused in that state that what is private, how public, and all those stuff. Right? So slowly and gradually move with that concept. So if everything should be in the private, how can I access? Okay? So we will discuss that many things also because we are remaining with the end function concept. Okay, so as we had discussed in the class section. So, okay, whenever I'm asking something related with the class or if I'm giving you the question with respect to my class, what you have to do, you every time, if I'm not mentioning over here anything, that you have to take that member functions either in a public or a private, do one thing. If they were not mentioned over mention anything, then your variables try to put it as a private and take your member functions as a public access specifier. Why? Because using that function you can access that variables, right? So if you want to access that, you can. So that's why take your variables as a private, and you can the data member sorry, functions are in the public. Okay? So we have some concept using that you can do it. But right now I'm not discussing because that concept we'll discuss it in the lecture and then we will move to the lab section. Okay? So yes, you can use the nesting of member function concept. We can use array of many students. Yes, you can use it. Yes, you can. Instead of this, yes, as I have mentioned that instead of using S1, S2, and S3, you can use the object A, right? And using that, you can do that many things. But we had not discussed that many things in the class section, right? That's why. Okay, once we had gone through with the class, we can. I used one object by iteration. Is it okay? Iteration, that means S1 for enter data, print data, S1 for second student, S1 for third student. Likewise. Oh, yes, you can do this. You can do this. But as I have not discussed, that I am telling this many things. You can use the area of object also. Yes, don't worry, we will discuss. But this is the first lecture of implementation of class. That's why I'm starting with this whole concept. Okay. slowly and gradually we will move. Here we are not returning anything in the function, and we are not taking the values in the function. Right. Now take one more function, create one more function named as add, and take two arguments from the user and edit it. Okay, this is the new definition. So what you have to do here, create one more function named with add, right? And take two integer arguments, take two integer arguments from the user and add it. Okay. So what you have to do, you just simply add one more method named integer add integer a comma integer b. Okay. So now do it for the third function. Okay, one more time I'm asking to the other students that did you get anything, or are you with me with the programs, or you are doing your own stuff? Then just let me know, because you are not replying me a single time, right? The students named Fatima, Hala, Mihir, Mohammed. If you are alive in my session, then just reply over here. Otherwise, I'll not give you the attendance. Okay, this is the last call for you. That if you cannot reply me over here, I'll not give you the attendance. Okay, if you are facing any issue related with the internet or mic, you can write it over here in the chat. Okay, no one is writing, so I'm assuming that you are not alive in my session. Okay. So 12 program is completed by you or not, Mohammed? Yes, give me the answer. If you are not, I am okay, but just give me the answer. Okay, are the students completed this question or not? Yes. Okay, 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 good. Okay, first write by yourself. Okay, someone is completed with the code. Okay, now enter now. Okay, so just wait. So other students, after completion of other students' work, we will move further. Okay, Ahmad, take your time and complete your code, no problem. But just try to complete, okay? or more than one student, that's two. Okay, now for this method, what I have to do, from the main, I'm taking the values from the user, right? Variable x from y, for addition function. Okay, very good. Okay, so if you are repeating me, I can understand that yes, you are completing the number one. In y. Okay, and now you can call your function with this s1 dot s. So x comma y. Okay, so it will take the data, return the things, and print it on the screen, right? So over here, okay, yes, okay. Still, I'm giving you the more 5 more minutes, so you can do it. Okay, completed. Shall we move further? Okay, till 3:10, I'll give you time. Okay, so you can complete it. Shall we move further? Okay. Are we done with the code? We've completed. Just right over here. Okay, done. Yes, other students. Okay, now, as someone asked me, okay, I guess Dilan. Yes, Dilan, that if I have one method which is private for my class, okay, so outside of this class, I cannot access it. Okay. Still, I'm giving you information over here. Yes, I got confused with void read. Can you? Yes, in this example. Yes, Suman. Yes, Suman, you can unmute yourself. Okay, so I'm discussing related with this problem, the same code which I have written over here. Okay, Suman, just wait. I'll help you. Okay, ma'am, I'm getting the garbage value from return value of the member function. Okay, I will help. Okay, yes. So Suman, okay, Yugraj, first I'll answer the question of Suman's. Yes, I have one method which is void read. Okay, over here. So this method is private for my class, right? So I cannot access in the main. So if I will write, if I want to access this read method in my main class, right? I cannot access it. But if I want to access it, how can I access? So if outside of my class, if I have one function that is print data, right? So if I will call this function over here that read, I can do this. Okay. So if I write this read over here, okay, this will give me something like this. So I can access this read function over here. Why? Because this is, you can say, the private function. Okay, private member function, and I cannot use it in the main. So if I want to use that private function using some member function, I can call this read function. Okay, yes, this concept is remaining in the class, that's why you cannot identify. Okay. Okay, now am I clear? Yes, Suman. Yes. Okay, so I'm saying that if some member functions are private for my class and if I want to access it, so outside of my class, I cannot access that members function. Okay, so using s1 dot read, I cannot do this many things. So if I want to access this read function, so how can I access? So if some functions outside of my class, right, which is public for my class as a public access specifier, say for example print data, right? So in that print data, if I want to access this read function and if I want to call, I can do this. Okay, though this read is private, but this private member function is a part of the same class where my print data function is available. That's why. Okay. So to access the private specifier, we will use read function outside of the class, right? If you want to call that function, no, see over here, this variable I am using it in the same class, right? So in the same class you can do it, but if I want to call this read function outside of my class as you are mentioned, right? So that's why I have to do this many thing. Okay, don't worry, I'll give you the example in the class section also, right? Otherwise 20 students get that data in the lab section and other 40 students remaining with that thing. Okay, so in the class section I'll do it. Okay, that as this concept is also known as, you can say, the nesting of member function, as we had discussed in today's session. Okay, yes, if you want to use that function outside of the class, if you want to call that, right, so that's why you have to use that method. Using some other method, you can call that your private method, nesting of member function. Okay, this method you can use. Okay, okay, now am I clear? Okay, right. So did you get the point, or I should I need to repeat it? Okay, now share your problem with me, Yuvraj.
Ma'am,
Yes. Hmm.
I have a function age
Integer add. Hmm.
in the function in student type is integer, but I'm
Hmm.
getting the variable value is a return. But
Hmm.
can you?
Okay. Yes, you can share your screen. Okay, just wait. Uh, Students, you can write your enrollment number, your class name, and branch name over here in the chat. Okay. Yes, Yuvraj, you can share your screen.
Yes, ma'am. I will get the different type. How can we get the different type? And for example, over here, this is my function,
Hmm.
function, and I
Mm-hmm.
have the definition is over here.
Hmm.
Even though I didn't define the integer c over here, but I have defined it over here integer c. It is not showing any
Hmm.
integer, but
Mm-hmm.
for return I am getting garbage error like this one.
Okay.
So I have a integer c which will capture the return value from the function
Mm-hmm.
this one, and it is showing that
Yes, yes, yes. Wait, 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 wait. Over here, over here.
this one.
Uh, Enter two numbers.
Yeah,
Right. Before entering two numbers, you are calling that function. How it can value? Hmm.
this way.
As well as the comma should not be there in the C in.
Oh,
Yes. Now try to run it. Okay. If you are using two greater sign in the same C in, the this method is known as,
yeah, I got it.
yes. Before calling sorry, before defining the numbers you are calling. So that's why it will give
And I
the
have one doubt
garbage
for you.
value in A and B. Okay.
Is there any data type in C, like string is a data type in C, C++ of that one?
Yes, we have, but we are following the character right now. If we need it in the program, I will explain it that time. We have string also.
Then in
Some
order
of the times.
now when to work, uh, for example, this is the member function, right now? A the
Hmm,
member function.
hmm,
So
hmm.
I have to define integer C inside this function, or it is enough if I define it inside the class name.
Okay, yes. So this is the concept of, you can say, the local variable and member variable, right? So if you are declaring that C inside your function, that means it is local for your function, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But here you are using that C, which is the class member.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you can access, but the difference is this. So this C you can use within the function. But over here in your example, your C is the class member, class member, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you can use it.
Okay. And do I have to define A and B inside the class, or it is enough if I define over here?
Oh, okay, okay. So this is okay if you are defining in the function, but I'm taking that A and B's value from main, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So no need to declare that A and B on that class.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Okay, Sachit. Yes, Sachit, can you hear me? Okay. Practical number 12 completed? No. Okay. This class concept completed? Yes, this example, as I have shared earlier. Just wait. This question, have you completed or still remaining? I guess you were not there in the first session, first half, first hour, 1:30, 1:30 to 2:30. Are you present in the lab or not? Okay, one by one. I want the practicals from you, right? Okay, Daniel, can you share your screen? Yes, good. No, you can take your time and complete the graphs, right? No, I don't want that answers in the WhatsApp, right? I just want that you must be clear with the topic. Okay, right now I don't want that programs. Okay, Sachit? Okay, I don't have an issue, no problem. Okay, just keep your programs with you. Whenever I'll inform you, at that time you have to upload it in the Google Classroom. Okay, till that you can save your code with you. Okay, okay, good. Second, yes. Okay, very good. Okay, good. You can stop sharing your screen. Hmm. You can stop sharing your screen, Daniel. Okay, now next, Kencho, are you in a position to share your screen? First program, exercise number 3, first program, which is related with the, you can say, basic data type of integer, and you have to pass the values to that till now. Okay, yes, Kencho, you can share. Okay, very good. Yes, good. Go ahead. Good. Very good. Okay, some of the students are replaying me very well, so I appreciate you all. Okay, other than the students, okay, Naol, Mihir, Suman, and Yograj. Okay, I'm okay with Yograj because I had before some minutes I checked that. Okay, no problem. Okay, now I know that you are complete. You have to show. If you want to show, you can. Otherwise, I'm okay with you. Okay, if you want to share, then I'm okay. And if you don't want to, I'm okay. Because I know that you are doing the code. Okay, Sangram, I guess you had completed the 12th and this class also, right? So no need to share the screen. Okay, who is presenting? No one, right? So I'm presenting. Okay. So the concept of class we had already completed. Okay. Sorry. Okay, attendance I had taken. Yes, Yograj. At that time, you are not in a position to write your number. Okay, I already take the attendance. Okay, so write your number over here right now. No, no problem. Okay, so now the practical number, sorry, experiment number 3 is the classes concept. Okay, so this is the 40 number practical. We will complete it in the next lab. Okay, so the function, the working of this is related with the function as well as the class. Okay, so how can you do this many things? We'll discuss it in the next lab. Okay. Okay, thank you class, and all the best for your examination.